Operation Neptune Spear, the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. Introduction. On the night of May 1st to 2nd, 2011, a team of U.S. Navy SEALs carried out a top-secret mission in Abbottabad, Pakistan, which resulted in the killing of Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks and leader of al-Qaeda. The mission, known as Operation Neptune Spear, was authorized by then-President Barack Obama and executed by SEAL Team 6, also known as DevGru. The operation was the result of nearly a decade of intelligence gathering, advanced surveillance, and high-risk military planning. The successful elimination of bin Laden was a significant moment in the global war on terrorism, bringing justice to the victims of al-Qaeda's attacks worldwide. Background: the hunt for bin Laden. After the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, Osama bin Laden became the most wanted man in the world. The U.S. launched Operation Enduring Freedom, invading Afghanistan to dismantle al-Qaeda and remove the Taliban, which had provided bin Laden safe haven. Despite multiple efforts to locate him, bin Laden evaded capture for nearly a decade. He was believed to be hiding in Pakistan's tribal areas, where al-Qaeda had strongholds. However, intelligence agencies found it challenging to track him due to his use of couriers and a lack of electronic communication. Breakthrough in Intelligence, 2009 to 2010. In 2009, the CIA identified a courier known as Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, believed to be one of bin Laden's trusted aides. The breakthrough came when U.S. intelligence tracked al-Kuwaiti's movements and discovered a mysterious compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, about 35 miles north of Islamabad. The compound was surrounded by high walls, up to 18 feet, topped with barbed wire, lacked telephone or internet connections, had an unusual security presence, contained a third-floor balcony with a tall privacy wall, an uncommon feature. By early 2011, intelligence suggested that Osama bin Laden himself was inside the compound. However, confirmation was difficult due to a lack of photographic or voice evidence. Despite uncertainty, Obama's national security team debated possible actions. Planning the raid in March 2011, President Barack Obama and his top advisors began discussing options to capture or kill bin Laden. The Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC, led by Admiral William McRaven, developed plans for a stealthy nighttime raid. The options considered were aerial bombing, using B-2 stealth bombers to level the compound. Risk: no physical proof of bin Laden's death if the site was destroyed. Covert ground raid, sending Navy SEALs to infiltrate the compound. Risk: the SEALs could be killed or captured in enemy territory. Obama rejected the bombing plan and favored the SEAL Team 6 raid, as it provided confirmation of bin Laden's death. The team trained for weeks using replica compounds built in the U.S. On April 29, 2011, Obama gave the final order: go. The raid, May 1st to 2nd, 2011. Deployment and approach. On the night of May 1st, 2011, two modified Black Hawk helicopters took off from Jalalabad, Afghanistan, carrying 23 SEALs, a Pakistani-American translator, and a military dog named Cairo. The helicopters flew low and fast to avoid radar detection. Pakistani authorities were not informed about the mission. As the SEALs approached Abbottabad, one of the Black Hawks experienced a vortex ring state aerodynamic issue and crash-landed inside the compound. Despite the setback, the SEALs quickly secured the perimeter and continued the mission. Infiltration and engagement. The SEALs split into teams. One team secured the outer perimeter. Another team moved inside the main house. Inside the compound, the SEALs shot and killed several individuals, including Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, courier, Khalid bin Laden, Osama's son, armed guards. The SEALs then moved to the third floor, where they found Osama bin Laden with his wives and children. The death of Osama bin Laden. When the SEALs confronted bin Laden, he did not surrender. He reached for a weapon, though unarmed at the time. SEAL Robert O'Neill allegedly fired 2 shots to bin Laden's head, killing him instantly. His body was positively identified, and SEALs collected hard drives, documents, and other intelligence materials. Exfiltration and aftermath. The SEALs destroyed the damaged helicopter to prevent technology leaks. They loaded bin Laden's body onto the second helicopter. Mission success message: Geronimo EKIA, enemy killed in action. By 3:30 a.m. Pakistan time, the SEALs returned to Afghanistan with bin Laden's remains. Burial at sea. Bin Laden's body was flown to USS Carl Vinson, where he was buried at sea within 24 hours, according to Islamic customs. Obama's announcement to the world. On May 2, 2011, at 11:35 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, President Barack Obama addressed the nation. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation. They killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda. The announcement sparked celebrations across the U.S., especially at Ground Zero, Times Square, and outside the White House. Impact and legacy. Psychological blow to al-Qaeda. The death of bin Laden weakened al-Qaeda's influence, increased U.S.-Pakistan tensions. Pakistan was angered by the U.S. carrying out a mission on its soil without permission. Rise of ISIS, Islamic State. Al-Qaeda eventually declined, but ISIS became the new global terror threat. Boost to Obama's presidency. His approval ratings surged. Operation Neptune Spear was a top-secret U.S. military operation conducted on May 1 to 2, 2011, that resulted in the death of Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. This operation was ordered by then-President Barack Obama and carried out by the United States Naval Special Warfare Development Group, SEAL Team 6, in Abbottabad, Pakistan. The mission marked a significant milestone in the global war on terrorism and demonstrated the capabilities of U.S. intelligence and special operations forces. Intelligence gathering. The hunt for Osama bin Laden took nearly a decade following the 9/11 attacks. The breakthrough in the search came when U.S. intelligence agencies identified a courier, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, who was known to work closely with bin Laden. By tracking al-Kuwaiti's movements, analysts located a high-security compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, which they believed housed the al-Qaeda leader. The compound exhibited suspicious characteristics, including high walls, restricted entry, and the absence of telephone or internet connections, further supporting the theory that bin Laden was hiding there. Planning the raid. After confirming the intelligence, President Obama and his national security team deliberated on the best course of action. Options included an aerial bombing, a joint operation with Pakistani forces, or a direct ground assault by U.S. Special Forces. Due to concerns about collateral damage and the risk of losing critical evidence, the administration opted for a Precision SEAL Team 6 raid. The mission was meticulously planned at a replica of the compound constructed at a U.S. military base where SEALs rehearsed the operation repeatedly. Execution of the raid. On the night of May 1, 2011, 2 Black Hawk helicopters carrying SEAL Team 6 departed from a U.S. base in Afghanistan, flying low to evade Pakistani radar. Upon reaching the compound, one of the helicopters experienced a mechanical failure and crash-landed inside the compound. Despite this setback, the SEALs proceeded with the mission, breaching the compound's walls and engaging enemy combatants. The killing of Osama bin Laden. The SEALs moved through the compound methodically, clearing rooms until they reached the third floor, where Osama bin Laden was found. Reports indicate that bin Laden was armed but did not actively engage the SEALs. He was shot twice, once in the head and once in the chest, by SEALs. His identity was later confirmed through DNA testing and facial recognition. Aftermath and global reaction. Following the raid, bin Laden's body was transported to a U.S. aircraft carrier and buried at sea within 24 hours, following Islamic burial customs. President Obama addressed the nation, announcing bin Laden's death and emphasizing that justice had been served. The raid sparked varied international reactions, with many U.S. allies expressing support while some criticized the violation of Pakistani sovereignty. Impact on U.S. counterterrorism. The death of Osama bin Laden dealt a significant psychological and operational blow to al-Qaeda, leading to a decline in its global influence. However, terrorism remained a persistent threat, with splinter groups like ISIS rising in the aftermath. The raid also underscored the effectiveness of U.S. special operations and intelligence gathering techniques. Conclusion. Operation Neptune Spear was a defining moment in modern military history. It showcased the precision and efficiency of U.S. Special Forces while delivering justice for the victims of the 9/11 attacks. Although bin Laden's death did not mark the end of global terrorism, it reinforced the U.S. commitment to combating extremist threats worldwide.